Prior to pursuing an opportunity, an essential exercise that entrepreneurs and investors undertake is the assessment of the potential opportunity. This due diligence phase is a critical step in verifying that the idea in mind does offer the key characteristics that underlie a superior opportunity. You need to be able to gauge whether there is a real market need, and if you can produce the product the customer is seeking at a price they will pay for it. You need to identify what the risks are and whether the profit potential is worth it for you. Further, when you properly evaluate the opportunity, you will build up a thorough knowledge of the business model, the internal operations of the business, and the external environment in which the venture will sit. This depth of knowledge will enable you to be more savvy in relation to key elements that investors seek in their investment opportunities. In other words, to be attuned to the investor perspective, to be investor ready. So, when should you assess an opportunity? The key thing to remember is that opportunity assessment is not static. It is not a one-time event, but rather should be recognized as a dynamic, ongoing process. Understanding what characterizes an opportunity is essential for entrepreneurs and investors to appreciate the sustainability of their ventures and/or investments. Assessing an entrepreneurial opportunity does not only apply to a potential new startup, it has the same value whether it is being utilized to assess a potential spin-off for a large corporate or a social enterprise looking at growth options to increase the impact of their mission. It is also a necessary ongoing requirement to monitor business performance, as sometimes facets of the opportunity may decline over time. If conditions around the original opportunity change, it is important to determine whether the business proposition needs to be modified or adapted to meet those changing conditions, and/or whether additional opportunities should be sought to find new avenues to help the venture grow. The more opportunities you assess, the more you will personally learn through undertaking such processes, activities, and experiences. Over time, your heuristics, also known as your gut feel or rules of thumb, will become more sophisticated and complex, and thus more reliable when assessing opportunities. How does this occur? Well, knowledge, experience, and resilience can come from mistakes we make. We can all learn from the mistakes we make through life, and often from the mistakes that others make. The more prepared and informed we are, the more likely we are able to minimize risk and potential threats to the business through acting proactively. However, it's important to remember that there is no right answer when assessing opportunities, and that what might be an opportunity for you may not be one for someone else. We all have different levels and layers of expertise, experience, skills, and capabilities which affect how we perceive the world. While we all may agree on the underlying characteristics of opportunities and whether a particular one potentially exists or not, issues such as our preferences for investing in certain areas or industries, or our individual level of risk and/or uncertainty avoidance will influence whether we decide to pursue a potential opportunity or not. Thus, when we're evaluating an opportunity and considering the underlying characteristics of opportunities, such as: does a compelling need exist for your product? Is the market large enough with sufficient growth potential? Are there forgiving profit margins? How much capital is required to achieve sales? How significant are the barriers to entering the market? And are there appropriate strategic alliances in place that can provide access to the markets you want to enter? Do you have or can you develop a competitive advantage? What exit strategies are available, etc. These need to be framed against your preferences, experiences, and risk tolerance. Plus, remember that opportunities in themselves are inert. They're only as good as the team developing the opportunity and the action they take. This is why we have emphasized the importance of developing a cohesive and balanced team that is action-oriented and the right fit for the opportunity at hand.